Alright, here's this manipulator that I need to warn you about. This manipulator is called, what I like to call, the better person. Better with this. The quote unquote better person. This manipulator makes you think he's not a narcissist. You always listen to this person. You think he has a growth mentality. Every conflict you have with somebody, you go to that narcissist and then they always tells you to look yourself in the mirror to see if you're the problem. They always tell you to gaslight yourself. It don't matter who hurts the most, it don't matter who started, they always tell you to gaslight yourself and to ask yourself if you are the problem. Not the other person in the conflict, not the person who started it, but they tell you to ask yourself if you're the problem. Not the other person, but you. And then when you call them out on it, they be like, no, I'm not trying to say if it's your fault. But then they continue to indirectly say that it's your fault by still telling you. They say sometimes it's okay to look yourself in the mirror and see and ask yourself, what if I'm the only one overreacting? What if I'm the only one overreacting to a man punching me in the face? What if I'm the one overreacting to this, that, and the other? What if I'm the one, like, that's my brother to me when it comes to mom. When it comes to any conflict I had with mom. My mom started most of the fights, most of the arguments with me. She has no growth mentality. She's literally a grown up toddler. She starts fights with me. I couldn't talk to her without her arguing. And my brother always finds a way to make it my fault and say, hey, and act all empathetic and say, hey, maybe it's okay to just look yourself in the mirror and maybe ask yourself, what if I'm the problem? Maybe what if I'm overreacting? And then say stuff like your mother don't have to respect you. Your mother don't have to respect you, but you have to respect your mother. So, which don't make any sense because it's like then he says then he's try to come up with reasons like he always then try to use the Bible to justify justify that parents don't need to respect their kids, but because there's no parents need to respect children, but there is fathers shouldn't provoke their kids to anger. I showed that Bible verses to him, but he's trying to convince me that it doesn't count. Only the honor thy mother and thy father does. So when it comes to that, this guy was literally. So this guy was like, it only counts. So only honor thy mother and thy father counts. Like, mothers don't have to respect their kids, but kids have to respect their mothers. That's basically his Bible verse. So back to what I'm saying. Watch out for the manipulator types of narcissists who likes to act as if they're the better, who likes to act as if they're the better person, who you think has a growth mentality, who you think has a growth mentality, who you think understands you, like to say, who who you think understands you, but always like to solve conflict with telling you to gaslight yourself, like telling you to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if you're the problem, if you're the one overreacting. That's what my brother likes to abuse. That's a phrase that my brother likes to abuse all the time. Like, sometimes you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what if I'm the problem? What if I'm the problem? What if I'm the one? What if I'm the problem? What if I'm the one overreacting? It don't matter who started it. It don't matter who swung first. It don't matter who hurted the most. My brother always goes to me, not my mom, but to me, and tells me to look myself in the mirror and ask myself if I'm the problem. I'm always the problem to him. He never goes to my mom and tells her to look at herself in the mirror. And if he says he does, he's lying. Because I've always thought that everything is always my fault my whole life, and I'm just waking up out of it. I am literally recovering from that. So yeah, recovering from it. So when it comes to the better person type of narcissist, like when it comes to, okay, so guys, know what you want, know what you're saying, know what you're doing, know what you want, know what you're saying, know what you're doing, know what you need. Okay, know what you want to order at a drive-thru. Know what you want to order at a drive-thru, etc. Because nobody ain't got time for your indecisiveness. Nobody got time for your indecisiveness. Okay? Get it together. And another thing about the better person narcissist. The better person narcissist, they always say, like, the reason why they ask questions on top of questions, like to confuse you of your every decision, is because it's like, my brother says the reason why I ask questions on top of questions, and the reason why I ask questions on top of questions be like, how do you know that, is because people like to put themselves in other people's shoes without knowing the experience. But here's the thing, even if I had the experience, it is not good enough. It is never good enough. Like, my brother told me, forgive and forget. Remember on one of my last videos, forgive and forget. I tried to tell my brother, I am forgiving, but I'm not forgetting because it keeps me from getting hurt. My brother tells me, you're still being petty, forgive and forget. Okay, he's still denying my experience, acting like that doesn't count, regardless of my experience of the consequences. I even told him the consequences of forgetting along with forgiving. And he's like, that doesn't count. Forgive and forget. He just throws it out the window. Like, even if I have the experience, he's still gonna try to convince me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I don't know what I'm saying, that I don't know what I'm doing. So even if I do have the experience, even if I'm in somebody's shoes, it's not good enough. So it's a literal waste of time. Forgiving and forgetting leads to getting back to your abuser. Forgiving and forgetting leads to being extremely forgetful. You can forgive and not forget. It is okay. You can forgive and not forget. So, and another thing, if you call out this narcissist manipulative tactics and tell him, like, you're blaming me for something you're blaming me for something that isn't my fault, and then he'd be like, I'm not blaming you, and then he continues to indirectly blame you and tells you to look yourself in the mirror and see if it was your fault. See if it was your fault. See if it was your fault. And to see if you're the one overreacting, etc., etc. That's all them. That's they're the problem. That's the manipulator. You're dealing with a manipulator. Cut him off. So yeah, know what you want, know what you need, know what you're saying, and know what you're doing. Know what you want to order, know what you want to get. Ain't nobody got time for all that indecisiveness. God bless.